I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Thank you for reminding us that our souls are indeed welcome here. Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. And once again, thank you for the fabulous music, and we'll have more of that to come. I am Tamira Hume, and I'm really delighted to be with you today. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. Thank you also to our live stream viewers. We're really grateful that you are sharing this time with us. And live stream viewers, if you do enjoy us, please take a minute and press the share button, and that gets us to your friends. And that helps us share the services and community with the world. If you are new to the center and have questions about what's happening here, we have a website, CSLSR.org, and it has a bunch of useful information. You'll find our monthly bulletin there by clicking on the photo of the typewriter. It contains everything happening throughout the month. And if you are new and wondering what we are all about, please pick up, and I actually have it today, the blue welcome packet. It's at the entrance to the social hall. And that contains information about our teaching, as well as what we have to offer as a community. We offer a youth and family program for newborns, toddlers, elementary or middle schoolers, and teenagers. Our program helps your children and grandchildren get plugged into the community and grow on their spiritual journey. Talk to our youth coordinator, Jennifer Caldwell, after service to get plugged in, or send an email to youth@cslsr.org. Now, would you please join me in speaking aloud our vision and mission as a community? The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling vision of a healthy, loving world, which we call the global vision. This vision inspires us to bring the gifts, integrity, loving kindness to the world through our programs and teaching. Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. We follow this vision through 5 core spiritual practices of our teaching. Join me in reading those 2, please. Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, spiritual circulation. And speaking of spiritual circulation, we are currently in the middle of our giving intention season. And this is a time when we really take a moment and consider what the center does mean to us personally and how we might support it financially in 2024. I invite you to complete our giving intention form to help sustain its future, whether you are a member, friend, or guest. We invite you to think about what this center means to you personally and how it has helped your life. We've been asking this question to many of our members, and here is how Chris Kelly, one of our volunteers, has responded.
Hi, I'm Chris Kelly. I moved to Santa Rosa about 4 years ago after a breakup of a 7-year relationship. It was challenging and I was devastated. Then COVID hit and I was virtually housebound. When the Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Rosa opened for in-person service, and even wearing a mask, I went to it. The moment I walked in, I felt at home. I had been feeling lost, and the center filled that hole. After several weeks, I knew I had found my tribe and community. The people were warm, open, and inviting. The center has changed my life for the better in so many ways. I am making connections and building my village of peaceful, welcoming, and fun folks to share my life with. I'm able to be my true self, be of service, and contribute to a place that expresses my values. My life has meaning, purpose, and significance now. I am deeply grateful for the Center of Spiritual Living Santa Rosa.
Thank you, Chris Kelly. Very nice. I know that somewhere between the music, meditation, prayer practices, and Reverend Russ's message today is exactly what you need to experience the next step of your spiritual enrichment. Do remember you are indeed welcome here. Now please enjoy some music before our short time of prayer, contemplation, and then prayer.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world filled with chaos and noise. So I wake to these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world filled with chaos and noise. So I wake to the these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God. I find God. I find myself.
Good it is. It is excellent, this coming together this morning as one mind, as we recognize that one, that life giver, that energy. This is a spiritually energetic convergence. For it is spirit itself that gives the energy of all, the movement, the sound, the quality, the taste. Knowing that spirit is with us 100% of the time in all places. It is that cornucopia of givingness with us in all times, in times of celebration. No matter what is going on within our world, within our lives, Spirit Divine is here with its promise of the sun coming up in the morning, of our hearts connecting with each other. And so I am recognizing this morning in this very holy place, in this wonderful sense of unity, I'm recognizing Spirit in me as me is me. I know that God is my compass and I can never be lost, and I know that this is true for each and every one of us here. God, Spirit Divine, is the song of my soul. It is the laughter of my spirit, and it fills the hearts and the souls of all who enter into this place, because we know the oneness together. And so in this time of realizing Spirit Divine within all, we can feel that sense of peace. We can know the feeling of safety. We can know life expressing itself so brilliantly within each and every one of us. And as we move forward in this holy time, in this wonderful coming together and hearing the word and speaking the word and learning and expanding, this is an ever expansive world. I give thanks for all that we receive here today. I give thanks for knowing that Spirit is always present 100%. And with this sense of gratitude, I simply release my word, and we can say together, and so it is. Good morning. So lovely to see you all. My name is Sherry Poole. I'm one of the prayer practitioners here at our center, and I'm inviting you to join me as we read together this morning's affirmation. I use my genius to find the potential and possibility available to me, and so it is.
This one's for the undiscovered geniuses. Or is it genii I never knew, who write and paint and chisel in their bedrooms, known forever by the last name Who. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, but common knowledge doesn't know the jewels below. You never had a hit song on the airwaves, you never broke out from the local scene, you didn't paste your walls with famous faces, and you prefer the window to the TV screen. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, but common knowledge doesn't know the jewels below. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, dancing with your hopes and fears instead of chasing zeros. The beautiful don't jump before the camera, the wisest of us hardly ever speak, and every time we're sent a perfect teacher, we miss them 'cause we overlook the meek. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, but common knowledge doesn't know the jewels below. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, harmonizing heart and hand, making stained glass from sand. Now this one's for the folks who know they're precious, but no more precious than the garbage man. I kissed you on your cheek, not on a poster, 'cause genius wants a lover, not a fan. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, but common knowledge doesn't know the jewels below. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, harmonizing heart and hand, making mirrors from sand. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, but cover stories can't uncover the true lover.
Can we share some more love with Chris and Atreyu and Brett and Nick, our fabulous band? Thank you, gentlemen. So welcome. It's wonderful to be here and to see you all, and I feel like I have to explain my costume. So I'm going for the Harry Potter wizarding world today, and there's a reason for that. You see, one of the defining themes of all of the Harry Potter books is that Harry Potter is only as strong as his friends. Harry's not a particularly skilled wizard, if we're being honest. That's Hermione Granger is the really skilled wizard in the books. But he's powerful because he cultivates strong friendships. And he works together with not just his close group of friends, but everyone at Hogwarts to battle what they see in that moment as evil, evil that is causing separation. Really, it's separation that he's battling. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. On July 20th, 1969, at 7:56 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, humanity took one small step toward a giant leap in human cooperation. Astronaut Neil Armstrong became the first human ever to walk on another celestial body, our moon. which if you were driving here today from the east side of town, you saw that gigantic moon, didn't you? And shortly after, Buzz Aldrin became the second person to step on the moon, and both became part of history, having participated in one of the most challenging feats humanity has ever attempted. I can't even begin to tell you how maddeningly, challengingly, frustratingly hard it is to send a human being into space. And that's just space. Now take that and multiply it by 100, 1,000 times, and that's how hard it is to send a human being to the moon. We all remember Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. But did you know that it took approximately 400,000 people to make that happen? Each and every one of those people had to be on their A game for just those 3 people to find their way successfully to the moon and back again. And I say 3 people because let's not forget that astronaut Michael Collins was equally important. He was the command module pilot of the mission. And Neil and Buzz wouldn't have gotten there if it wasn't for Michael, but we don't remember him as much because he didn't actually get to set foot on the moon. He was the bus driver. But they were able to travel 240,000 miles away from our planet Earth and came back again because of all of those people working together. Now, when I feel myself weighed down by what seems like an endless cycle of ever more depressing news in the world, I remember this feat of human cooperation. In fact, I would argue that despite all of our wars, all of our violence, humanity's claim to fame isn't how well we fight with each other, but rather what we've been able to accomplish when we work together. And I would argue that we've been working together for far longer and far more often than we've been at war with one another. I think that we remember the wars more than our achievements and our cooperation because war is horrible. War should never happen. To me, war is a failure to recognize the basic shared humanity that's fundamental to us all. We must never forget the human price that is paid whenever war and violence rears its ugly head, because our founder, Ernest Holmes, teaches that humanity has learned all that it can from suffering. I often wonder at which point that truth will sink in for us and we'll be able to live the peace that he knew was possible. So when I find myself struggling with the violence and the hatred that I see in the world, and if I'm honest, the violence and the hatred that I sometimes see in myself, what I know is that at the core of every human being is the potential for not just peace, but deep and profound relationship. Our species is wired for relationships. From our families to our friends to whole societies. One of the really interesting and fascinating traits about humanity is that we build communities. And these communities started as nomadic tribes, and they evolved over millennia to include villages and towns and cities and whole countries. In fact, we could call the whole world a community at this point with the advent of the internet connecting us all to each other despite the long distances. Over all this time, we've been able to learn new ways of communicating with each other, new ways of understanding one another and accepting our differences while combining our similarities toward common goals like the Apollo 11 mission. In fact, today, Despite the cold rhetoric between the United States and Russia, both of our countries support the International Space Station, along with many other countries. This space station is the result of ongoing scientific and engineering collaboration between 15 countries all around the world. Now, I couldn't find just how many people have to work towards making that happen, but I think if it took 400,000 people to make Apollo 11 happen, I suspect there's an equally incredible number that helped the ISS be what it is. So at this point in our message today, you might be wondering, Russ, why are you focusing so much on space right now? What does that have to do with all of the wild and crazy things that I see in the world today? Well, it's no secret that I'm a nerd, so that's part of it. But there's also a deeper reason why I am drawn to space when I am faced with the challenges of the world, and that's because space has proven itself to have this unique ability to draw humanity together, to erase our perceived ideas of borders and separation. You see, in space, we're all human, regardless of our past, regardless of what country we come from, what our culture is, our skin color, our gender. Astronauts and cosmonauts over the years have spoken about the emotional impact that they feel when they view our planet Earth from orbit. And this effect has been studied, believe it or not, and it's known as the overview effect, a term that was coined by researcher Frank White. And what it details is this sense of awe and transcendence that is felt when one views our planet from above. Here's the thing. When we look at Earth from that perspective, there aren't any borders. All we see is one Earth. I had an opportunity recently with the increasing advances in virtual reality technology, like I mentioned, I'm a nerd, to experience this myself. Now, the odds of me ever getting to go to space are pretty slim, but if you know a billionaire who's willing to fund my ride, I'm happy to jump on that rocket. But thankfully, a couple of years ago, an astronaut had the foresight to take a 360-degree stereoscopic camera and mount it outside of the International Space Station. And I watched that video. And in this video, I was able to have this three-dimensional view of what it's like to hang outside of the ISS, looking down at Earth as it was being orbited, flying at thousands of miles an hour. Even though I wasn't actually there, it was real enough that by the end of that movie, I could feel the tears welling in my eyes at the beauty of our world, at the oneness of this planet. Now, I've been feeling pretty isolated up until that moment because of the sadness I was feeling about the current events in the world right now. And having that opportunity to witness something truly bigger than myself, something bigger than my ideas about humanity, well, that was unforgettable. Now, unfortunately, I don't have VR goggles to share with everyone today, so you can experience this. But I'd like to share a glimpse with you now in the hopes that perhaps a little glimmer of what I was able to experience, that feeling of oneness, makes itself known in you. And I have some photos, and this first photo is of the planet Earth seen from the International Space Station looking over the Bahamas. And then our second photo, also taken from the ISS, shows the beauty, the artistry of clouds that are gracefully hovering over our world. And then our third image from the ISS shows the pinpricks of light from all of the cities and towns of our planet wrapped in glowing aurora created by our planet's magnetic field. This thin field that protects us from the harsh radiation of the sun. And then this next image from the ISS shows us even more cities lit up at night. And when I look at this, it's almost as though our world is glowing in this giant pool of darkness. And then our last image. This one is older than all of the rest. It was taken by astronaut William Anders on the Apollo 8 mission as his module orbited the moon. And when I look at this image, I feel awe and wonder at this place that has been our shelter and cradle for millions of years. When I zoom out and I see Earth like this, I see more cooperation than conflict. Because after all, if it was only conflict, I don't think we would have made it as far as we have. So when it sometimes seems as though our world is constantly battling itself through violence and hatred, images and experiences like these help me to find my way back home. I have to make a spiritual practice of it, because if I didn't, I think I would be lost in my own confusion and sadness and anger. And I find it equally helpful to focus my attention right back here, home, on this firm ground that we were just able to view from thousands of miles away. Dr. Edward mentioned this month that next year is our center's 70th anniversary. And I invite you to consider just how many hearts and hands worked together to help our own expression of earnest science of mind teaching to take form here in Santa Rosa and so far beyond our walls. Our center has evolved from a small gathering on Clark Street to this beautiful building that we're sitting in today, that you're watching online. And it didn't form from just one vision. Rather, it formed from our collective vision of a place where we can explore consciousness, where we can grow in community, where we can come together in service to ourselves and to others. Take a moment now, if you like, you can close your eyes to do this, and imagine the thousands of people over the last 70 years who all helped this place become what it is today. That's something else, isn't it? Now, do you think that our center was free from conflict over those 70 years? Probably not. But our common vision transcended any differences that we might have had with one another. And because of that, our center endures. Even after a long pandemic that closed the doors of so many of our peer communities, we are still here. We are still here because of you, and because of me, and because of all of those who know that when we work together toward a common cause, we are able to create something so much more than we could all on our own. And that's my invitation for all of us today, the spiritual practice that I encourage us to embody when the world shows us its ugliness and its pain, that we are able to find within that common vision, that inner call toward a better way of being, a way of being that expresses and honors both our beautiful humanity and our brilliant spirituality. For me, the way forward makes itself known in each and every relationship that I cultivate in our community. The older I get, the more power I find in relationships. Because for me, the very idea of relationship is a reflection of that spiritual oneness that I know is at the core of my being. In fact, I don't believe that oneness can truly be experienced unless it is in relationship with others. After all, aren't we all God meeting God? I believe that each time I am able to open my heart to understand another, to forgive my perceived trespasses, to embrace our shared humanity while also honoring the diverse and beautiful differences that I see, I'm able to express the divine in our world just a little bit more. Now, this is where it gets real. Just so you know, it's not easy. Yeah, relationships are hard, and, well, I'm an introvert. Dagnabbit. I can be a bit of a curmudgeon. I like my alone time. I like to sit around my apartment and contemplate life, the universe, and everything. I enjoy a nice, quiet night all alone reading a good book. I enjoy hiking all by myself, deep in the wilderness. If I'm being really honest, sometimes I just can't do people. It feels safe to be alone. But despite my predisposition, I am still drawn to this place. Because I know that nothing helps me grow and evolve more than being able to be in relationship with others. Nothing reflects back to me the way I am in the world than sharing time with you, with my friends. Nothing better shows me my faults as well as my strengths than working toward this world that works for everyone, side by side with each of you. And just as we've been hearing from each of our Giving Intention testimonial videos that we heard from Chris Kelly today, well, being in relationship with you here at our center has helped me to become a better person. Now, we read our center's mission at the start of service today, that we're working toward creating a world that works for everyone. I believe this is a mission that takes a lifetime because it invites me to consider just how much I am helping to make a world that works for everyone each day I'm on this planet. And what it teaches me is that this is not a task where I'm going to make it past some goalposts and then I'll be done. I have to do it every single day. One of the core teachings of the science of mind is that we're probably not going to be able to make a positive difference in the world until we first make a positive change to our own consciousness. That's why I'm so grateful for this place, for our center, because that's what we do here. We share the spiritual tools, the community, the human relationships that can lead to our consciousness growing and expanding and evolving into a way of being that tears down barriers, that heals ideas of separation, and empowers each of us to grow, not just in our relationships with the Spirit within us, but the Spirit within us all. Here I've learned to look at the problems of the world through spiritual eyes and to seek solutions that empower the whole and not just the few. Knowing this invites me to consider where in my own consciousness I might still be holding on to resentment, to fear, to hopelessness. And knowing that our center is here, supporting my evolution, supporting your evolution, makes it all the easier for me to let go of my resentment, let go of that fear, to let go of that hopelessness in favor of love and joy and peace. The love and the joy and the peace that I know is expressed every single time we open our doors for the world. In 1926, our founder, Ernest Holmes, took his own moonshot by publishing the Science of Mind textbook for all the world to see. And within that one seed that he planted was this radical idea, an idea that our world can indeed work for everyone. And that seed germinated and it grew through the loving and heart-centered collaboration of thousands and thousands of people over almost a century of growth and learning. We are part of that. And he says in his chapter that's got the single heading of unity in the Science of Mind textbook this: within this infinite mind, each individual exists, not as a separate head, but as a separate entity. We are a point of universal consciousness, which is God, and God is our life, spirit, mind, and intelligence. We are not separated from life, neither is it separated from us, but we are separate entities in it, individualized centers of God consciousness. We came from life and are in life, so we are one with life. And we know that instinctive life within, which has brought us to the point of self-recognition, still knows in us the reason for all things, the purpose underlying all things. And we know there is nothing in us of fear, doubt, or confusion which can hinder the flow of reality to the point of our recognition. We are guided daily by a divine intelligence into paths of peace, wherein the soul recognizes its source and meets it in joyful union, in complete at-one-ment. So I know that each person who contemplates this teaching is contemplating the contents of their own spiritual heart. And in so doing is helping to water and fertilize the soil, I suppose, of an interconnected earth that is for us all. This is the genius of the and. That word and invites us to consider just what amazing and beautiful things that we can do when we work together as one. And so I invite each of us to hold that sacred and within our hearts for our center and our community and beyond as we take this into prayer. And so I know that there is only that one life, that one presence, that one power that is the very source of everything. I know that it is peace, it is love, it is wholeness. I know that its nature is one. And knowing that this divine one is ever present, I am that. Each of us here are that. We are that love, that life, that joy, that wholeness, that peace, that goodness that is the very foundation of reality itself. I know that these qualities of that divine one reside within us, and they are infinite. And so knowing this, it's easy for me to declare that there is that infinite life expressing itself through each of us now. I know that as all of us come together to make this community even more than it was the day before, that we are expressing more of that divine one through our actions, through our thoughts, through our words, through our support. I know that we are the goodness of that divine one, expanding and growing and becoming more of itself, because there is no limit to that which is infinite. And so I invite us all to open our hearts and to channel even more of that love, of that good, of that peace in relationship with one another. Knowing that even though we may see differences in the world, we may share differences with one another, that nevertheless there is this common humanity at the core of our soul that binds us together. And that reminds us of the beautiful works that we can create together when we are of one mind, of one heart. And so I invite that divine collaboration forth, knowing that as next year we celebrate our 70th anniversary, I look forward to that day 70 years from now when someone else is celebrating a 140th year anniversary. I know that through our powerful collective love for one another, that this center endures, and that is good. And so I am grateful for this. And with my gratitude, I release this word into the action of that law that says, yes, my beloveds, yes. And I invite us all to say together, and so it is. Okay, so now is the time of our service where we get to practice a little bit of that spiritual circulation that practitioner Tamira shared with us at the beginning of our service. And we have, if you choose to give financially, we have a number of ways that you can give. The first is our text to give. I use that myself. It's fast and easy. We also have online giving. You can go to cslsr.org/donate and do that there. Some people like to send us checks. We have our address over at the info desk and on our website. We have auto giving. Some people like to do that and set it and forget it, as they say. And today we will also be passing the baskets. And I invite you to think in your mind and to hold in your mind, as those baskets are being passed, all of the hearts and hands that have come together over the past 70 years to support this vision that we share together of a world that works for everyone. And so let us enter into our offering ritual. I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. And as you're thinking of all of those wonderful people, I invite you to repeat after me. I bless my gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does amazing work in the world. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
Spirit, guide my day, open my heart to live your way. Teach me to hear your voice, open my mind to the freedom of choice. Spirit, guide my day, open my heart to live your way. Teach me to hear your voice, open my mind to the freedom of choice. Take it a tree. Open my heart to live your way. Teach me to hear your voice. Open my mind to the freedom of choice. Take it, Nick. Teach me to hear your voice. Open my mind to the freedom of choice. Spirit.
Thank you again for all that you share with us. So I've got a special person I'd like to invite up to share with us today. We have our youth coordinator, Jennifer Caldwell, to tell us all about what's been going on in youth and family.
I love the glasses. Good morning.
Good morning.
I am so excited to get up here and tell you guys a little bit about what we've been doing in youth and family for the last month. We've been having a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys can think about how you would teach paradox to a 7-year-old. It's been great. We've played some games. We've talked about physics. And Halloween, isn't that the best paradox? You get to be you and something else. Both can be true. I'm also really excited the teens got invited to come to the upcoming art show and bring their professionalism and their arms out with trays of snacks, and they rose to the occasion. We have so many teen volunteers for that. So if you guys are coming to the art show, you'll get to see the teens there too. And our last volunteer, every third Thursday, I have a volunteer meeting so we can kind of get our month going strong. And our last volunteer meeting, we had so much food and so much fun together. These people are so amazing, the volunteers, so give it a little hand for them. They're so amazing. And I hope that you all will join me for 11sies later out in the social hall. And if you can't be here for 11sies, maybe you can stick around for the parade we're having later and pumpkins. So if you're at home watching online, you still have time to get here. There's plenty of time. And I'm really grateful to see you all. So I hope you'll stick around too, because the parade should be cute.
Thank you, Jennifer. Do you love art or know people that do? Our CSLSR art fundraiser is this Friday. It kicks off November 3rd with a fabulous opening reception that you don't want to miss. 45 members of our community have donated over 145 pieces of art, and that includes original paintings, sculptures, prints, and more, and 100% of the proceeds benefit our center. We are so grateful. The evening reception you heard just moments ago food will be served by our teens, and we'll have light refreshments, mocktails by our very own practitioner and technical director, Jeff Basham, and harp music by Jewel Shields. This will also be an opportunity for you to buy some truly beautiful art as we kick off this fundraiser. So please join us. Please mark the date on your calendar, this Friday, November 3rd, from 5 until 8 p.m. Another event you can invite your friends and family to is a screening of the documentary called The Politics of Beauty, and that's Sunday, November 5th at 1:30 p.m. We will show this rare documentary that celebrates the legacy of former Interior Secretary Stuart Udall, considered one of the most effective environmentalists in American history. We'll also have a short Q&A, and with the documentary's director, John DeGraff. So please do sign up in advance of the showing by clicking on the photo of Stuart Udall and Lady Bird Johnson on our website. Next Sunday, November 5th, is the last Sunday to bring canned goods and perishables for the Redwood Empire Food Bank's barrel that is out in front. So they are one of our nonprofit partners for the year, a fabulous nonprofit. So let's fill that up one more time. And today, there's a pumpkin carving contest. It's, I'm sorry? Not contest, just party. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, at 12 p.m. Friends, family, and neighbors are welcome, and of course, children and grandchildren. Bring a pumpkin to carve, or for a small fee, we have a limited number you can purchase. So there'll be fun music and treats, and there'll be face painting for those that are young or young at heart. Costumes, fun hats, and orange and black is encouraged, and there's already been a good bit of that today. Because we love parties so much, we also have our Autumn Pie Party coming up on Sunday, November 19th from 10 to 11, where you'll be able to eat delicious pie to your heart's content. And if you'd like to bring a pie to share, you can sign up on our website. There's a photo of a pumpkin pie. We are also looking for volunteers to help out with the event, so if that sounds like you, talk to Linda at the info desk after service. And this Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, the 1st, is our annual remembrance service, and that's Reverend Sayota, along with members of our grief and loss support ministry. It's starts at 7 p.m., and it has a beautiful long table in front here where you can bring photos and mementos and things that are precious to you of someone you might have lost. And if this is of interest to you and you haven't already signed the name of your loved one, there is a list up at the info table there. And we hope you can join us. It's a very sweet and very moving service. And now I'd like to invite Lawrence Edwards up to tell us about his upcoming core class, The Power of Your Word. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Lawrence Edwards. I am refraining from telling a joke. So I will be teaching upcoming The Power of Your Word class. And to get information about it, please go to our website, www.cslsr.org. And the description of the class will give you very clear, distinct details about being in the class. And so when well, why am I here? I thought to myself, well, why would someone want to take this class? And this is what came up for me. It's an opportunity to develop a conscious prayer life. We will look at affirmative prayer and get underneath the hood of spiritual mind treatment. And listen closely, I say a conscious prayer life because whether you are aware of it or not, we are continuously affirming something. This class will give you the opportunity to consciously participate in that which you affirm. It's a safe assertion, given that you are here, that you're on a spiritual path. This class will be an opportunity for you to deepen and to refine your prayer life. Given the nature of the world we're experiencing and the things we're negotiating in our own personal lives, if there's a time to look at the power of my word, I think now is a good time. One premise I have in teaching this class is that who and what you are is a unique individuation of love. So it's going to be highly possible that you may discover the blocks that get in your way of extending the love that you are, of being who you truly are. And why is that important? It's because the power of your word has its origin in who you know yourself to be. It's a 7-week class starting Tuesday, November the 7th from 6:30 to 8:30. I'll be out in the social hall to answer any questions, and I look forward to your participation in this class. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lawrence. I know that's going to be a wonderful class. So it is time for us to close out our service. And before we close out, I do want to invite you to take advantage of our after-service prayer. Our practitioners are available to pray with you here in the sanctuary. Over at the white table there, you can get directed to receive prayer in person. Online viewers, we also have Zoom prayer available for you. So if anything is challenging in your life right now, if anything is not working out, or if you just want to manifest yourself a beautiful dragon like this, our practitioners are there for you. So please, please, please take advantage of that. All right, so if you're able to stand and you're willing, go ahead and stand and repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it, just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Please know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you're guided, sustained, and empowered by this divine presence that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly so that in everything we do, say, and think, we honor this Spirit within. And so it is. Enjoy the closing music. I hope you'll stick around for the pumpkin carving party after the next service, and have a wonderful week.
I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm